making headlines. The President appoints Mohammed Nimal as CEO of LGA. The Secretary General of SAARC arrives on an introductory visit to Maldives. And the US provides a financial assistance of $8.5 million to Maldives. Welcome to the English News. I'm your host Malak Ahmed Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu appoints Mohammed Nimal as the Chief Executive Officer CEO of the local government authority LGA. The appointment was made under the authority granted to him by Article 61B of the Decentralization Act. Mohammed Nimal previously served as the President of the Malay Atoll Council. His extensive experience includes positions such as the Minister Councillor at the Maldives High Commission in Sri Lanka and Managing Director of the Maldives Road Development Corporation, RDC. He also served as the Managing Director and Board Member of Feneka Corporation Limited and Deputy Minister of Tourism at the Ministry of Tourism. Nimal holds a Bachelor of Business Marketing from Charles Sturt University, Australia. In a social media post, Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works Adam Sharif Umar congratulated Nimal on his appointment as LGA CEO. He also expressed his best wishes and affirmed his commitment to working with Nimal to strengthen the decentralization system in the Maldives. The Secretary General of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC, MD Ghulam Sarwar, arrives on an introductory visit to the Maldives. Secretary General Sarwar assumed charge as the 15th Secretary General of the SAARC in October 2023. During the visit, the Secretary General is scheduled to call on President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu and Minister of Foreign Affairs Musa Zamir. The SAARC Secretary General will also meet with Foreign Secretary Fatmat Inaya during his visit. Secretary General Sarwar is scheduled to conclude his visit and depart on August 8th. The Secretary General is accompanied by his spouse Taslima Sarwar, Director in SAARC Secretariat Shahia Ali Manik and SAARC Secretariat Bhavesh R. Trivedi. The United States US provides a financial assistance of $8.5 million to the Maldives. The assistance was provided following the signing of the 14th Amendment to the Development Objective Grant Agreement (DOAG) between the two states. The amendment was signed by Minister of State for Foreign Affairs of the Maldives, Shireen Abdul Samad, and the Mission Director of the United States Agency for International Development (USAID), Gabriel Groh, at a special ceremony held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The DOAG is a landmark development cooperation agreement signed between the Maldives and the US to strengthen the technical capacity of the Maldives in managing public finances and bolster the resilience of the country's economic and democratic governance. Over the years, there has been gradual increases in the funding allocated. Through this amendment, the US government has committed an additional $8.5 million to the Maldives, increasing the total value of the agreement to $45.7 million. The signing ceremony of the 14th Amendment of the DOAG was attended by senior officials from the Foreign Ministry and USAID mission to the Maldives. Maldives, represented by the Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed, chairs the 5th session of the 9th Conference of Ministers of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs. The significant conference took place in Makkah, Saudi Arabia. During the conference, the Maldives emphasized the urgent need to address the humanitarian crisis in Palestine and called for an immediate cessation of hostilities. The Maldives vehemently condemned Israel's acts of genocide in Gaza and asserted that Israel must be held accountable. It also reiterated calls on the international community to take decisive action to halt these attacks on innocent Palestinian civilians. Maldives highlighted that such genocide endangers global peace and security and poses a threat to humanity. The conference saw the participation of all the Islamic nations and will continue till August 7th. It aims to strengthen Islamic solidarity, enhance cooperation in Islamic affairs and awqaf, reveal anti-Islamic currents, call for respect for holy places, and exchange information while supporting international relations. During his official visit to Saudi Arabia, Minister Dr. Shahim engaged in discussions with the Minister of Islamic Affairs, Dawah and Guidance of Saudi Arabia, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Abdulaziz Al Sheikh. Providing insight on the meeting, Minister Dr. Shahim stated that the discussions primarily focused on enhancing cooperation between the two countries in matters of religious beliefs and practices. The minister also expressed sincere appreciation for the assistance Saudi Arabia has provided in religious matters and conveyed optimism about further strengthening the relationship between the two ministries in the future. Minister Dr. Shahim is currently in Saudi Arabia to take part in the 9th Conference of Ministers of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs. He is accompanied by the Imam of Masjid Al-Sultan Muhammad Taqur Fan Al-Awzam, Sheikh Muhammad Latif, and the Senior Political Director, Sheikh Muhammad Imtita Abbas. Upon the conclusion of the conference, the minister is scheduled to return to the Maldives on August 7th. Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development raised concerns regarding the lack of rental payments for housing units despite implementing a 20% rent reduction. The monthly rents were relieved by 20%, fulfilling the pledge of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. In a statement, the ministry revealed that rental payments were waived and housing units were asked to make the payment from January onwards. However, the ministry noted that several housing units failed to make the monthly payments to this date. Hence, the ministry has called upon all housing units to settle their rental payments promptly and accordingly. Furthermore, the ministry stated that it was monitoring housing units which were not submitting the rental payments accordingly, individuals using the housing units for other purposes, and those modifying features of the unit against the ministry's guidelines. It has warned that legal action will be taken against individuals who violate these regulations. The issue of overdue rental payments for government housing units has been a long-standing challenge. Aiming to address this issue, President Dr. Muizzu reduced the rental prices of the housing units in the atolls to $215.9 and that of Hia flats to $258. The Maldives Monetary Authority (MMA) is to appoint 5 managing directors with changes to its structure. Speaking to PSMNEWS, an official of MMA disclosed that the bank has made the decision to bring changes to its structures to strengthen the work of the authority and produce better results. As such, the post of Assistant Governor of the authority has been transferred to the post of Managing Director. The existing Assistant Governors has been promoted to advisors. The official disclosed that 5 Managing Directors will be appointed from 5 sectors. The bank notes that this is to expand opportunities for educated and experienced individuals. As such, it converted the newly created managing directors to 2 5-year terms. Additionally, the opportunity to apply for the posts will be open to the employees of the MMA as well as the public. Changes to the structures of the central bank were brought up in consultation with the MMA board and approved by the newly appointed governor of the MMA, Ahmad Munawwar. Munawwar was appointed as the governor of MMA in July following the dismissal of former governor Ali Hashim, citing failures in fulfilling the responsibilities associated with the role of MMA governor. Upon his appointment to the post, Munawwar has given his word to fully support the government's efforts to boost the country's economy. Minister of Finance Dr. Mohammad Shafiq launches a new initiative of the Maldives Inland Revenue Authority (MIRA) under the name Guligem MIRA. The initiative was launched commemorating the 14th anniversary of the authority. According to MIRA, the initiative is designed to strengthen relationships with taxpayers and stakeholders, build trust and enhance voluntary compliance. The authority has outlined its objective to improve its services through this initiative and announced plans to organize various activities for its employees. The launch event for Guligem MIRA was attended by the Commissioner General of MIRA, Hassan Zarir, Deputy Commissioner Asma Shafiu, and former Commissioner General Fatullah Jamil. Additionally, senior officials, board members, and current and former employees of the authority were also present at the event. The Maldives Pension Administration Office (MPAO) discloses it has collected a total of $330.7 million as profits of the Maldives Retirement Pension Scheme (MRPS). This was revealed by the MPAO while speaking at the Parliamentary Committee on Independent Institutions. Addressing a query raised by a parliamentarian, the Director Investment and Research of MPAO, Amrit Irtiasha, disclosed that the MRPS funds are worth $1.2 billion. She added that the profits made under the scheme amounts to $330 million. The MRPS, a defined contribution pension scheme established under the Maldives Pension Act, serves as the primary pension provision for the elderly population. MPAO indicated that it distributes $6.48 million monthly to 23,000 elderly beneficiaries. Additionally, it noted that the MRPS receives $9.27 million monthly, while a total of 122,000 individuals are in the working population. The Maldives Pension Administration Office was established in 2009 under the Pension Act of Maldives. The Maldives Transporting and Contracting Company MTCC announces that Maldivian companies will soon have the opportunity to build additional ferries for the high-speed ferry services under the Rajah Transport Link RTL. Previously, foreign companies were responsible for building the ferries used in the RTL service. Speaking to PSMNEWS, Assistant General Manager of MTCC, Saeed Amjad, said that while the current RTL vessels were constructed by foreign companies, future ferry construction opportunities will be available to Maldivian companies. He said that the construction of 55 new ferries will begin soon. He highlighted that the construction of terminals is a collaborative effort with the government. Saeed also said that MTCC is focusing on establishing these facilities in zones 5, 6 and 2. RTL currently serves 81 islands across 9 atolls utilizing 26 ferries. The most recent service launch was in Noon Atoll. The government plans to expand the service to Ra and Ba atolls by the end of this year. Deputy Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Ibrahim Yasir said that the RTL service will be launched for islands in Zone 4 next year, with the goal of extending the service to all islands by the end of the year. He also said that discussions are ongoing with the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, and their team is already in the Maldives collecting necessary data to support the project. The RTL ferry service, which operates daily, has become a reliable mode of transportation for Maldivian residents, particularly for medical trips to hospitals. The service features air-conditioned high-speed ferries with a capacity of 50 seats. Feneca Corporation Limited has stated that the new power plant of 32 megawatts will provide a permanent solution to the concerns raised by the citizens of Addu City regarding the electricity service in the city. Chief Technical Officer of Feneca, Abdullah Nashid, disclosed that the company is working to hand over the project to solve the electricity issue in Addu City to China's Dongfang Electric Company. He noted that the project will be carried out on a contractor finance basis and added that the preparation of the EIA report and the survey has commenced. Nashid states that the new power plant will use the best quality brand engine currently in use in the world. He also disclosed that the existing electricity network in Addu will be converted to a modern grid. He further added that the company will be providing a temporary solution to the problem this month by providing the city with an engine of 1.6 megawatts. Addu City has been experiencing power outages for more than 5 years due to capacity shortages and network problems. Even though an agreement was signed with a Chinese company early in the last government to develop a 20 megawatts power plant at a cost of $2.4 million, it was stalled for various reasons. While the entire project was estimated to cost $2.8 million, more than $4.9 million has been spent on the project so far. Despite such a huge expenditure, the project remains unfinished without even a temporary solution to the problem. The State Trading Organization STO says that it will introduce 2 4,000-ton fuel tankers to launch international bunkering services in the Maldives starting on August 20th. Managing Director of STO Shimad Ibrahim said that the company is collaborating with the Economic Council, the Ministry of Economic Development and Trade, and other relevant stakeholders to initiate international fuel bunkering in the northern region of the country. He also said that the service will initially operate offshore using 2 vessels with plans to reclaim land and establish an onshore tank for future bunkering services. Additionally, Shimad said that STO is working to relocate the fuel storage facility from Funadu in Kaf Atoll to Margirifalo near Tilafushi. He said that a new facility will store various types of fuel sold in the country. He also explained that a Danish firm has been hired as the consultant for this project. ST also signed a term sheet with multinational energy and commodity trading company Vital Bunkers for the International Fuel Bunkering Project on March 13th. Bunkering services involve supplying fuel to marine ships and vessels. The establishment of such services in commonly traveled maritime areas will attract boats to stop and refuel, making it a profitable venture. While the Maldives currently has a gross domestic product GDP of $6.5 billion, the government projects that the new bunkering service will generate an additional $400 million, creating a new industry valued at $390 million. Tokyo stocks sink more than 12%, battered by a resurgent yen and weak US job data that fueled fears of a recession in the world's top economy. The benchmark Nikkei 225 index plunged 12.40% or 4,451.28 points to 31,458.42, its largest points drop in history, while the broader Topix index lost 12.23% or 310.45 points to 2,227.15. The yen surged to 141.73 against the dollar, a level not seen since early January, from 146.52 yen in New York on Friday. The Japanese currency has rapidly appreciated from levels of near 162 in early July, its weakest value since 1986. A stronger yen is a negative factor for Japanese exporters, and the recent rally has been fueled by central bank policy decisions that have reversed the trends of recent years. The Bank of Japan (BOJ) last week raised interest rates for the second time in 17 years, with talk of another rate hike to come, while the US Federal Reserve has hinted at a cut as soon as September. Daiwa Securities said the losses in Tokyo reflected deepening concerns over the uncertain US economy. EY Cosmo Securities said that the investors' sentiment was down as the US employment data for July came in lower than expected, raising fears that the US economy is slowing more than expected. The brokerage added that the market was also weighed down by the yen's appreciation against the dollar, and as expectations for exporters upbeat, financial results receded. On Wall Street on Friday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished down 1.5% as data showed the US jobs market cooled much more than expected in July. European stock markets also closed sharply in the red. In an attempt to calm volatility in the market, futures trading was suspended for 10 minutes and a so-called circuit breaker on the Nikkei and Topix indexes on the Osaka Exchange in Japan's western metropolis, an exchange official said. State media says that North Korea deployed 250 ballistic missile launchers to its southern border, with leader Kim Jong-un describing the weapons as a powerful treasured sword to defend its sovereignty. The official Korean Central News Agency KCNA reported that the olive green mobile launchers were displayed during a special transfer ceremony in the capital Pyongyang. Kim was quoted as saying in a speech that the missile launchers were an up-to-date tactical attack weapon. It was the first time North Korea had publicized the scale of an arms transfer to its border units, Han Kwon-hee of the Korea Association of Defense Industry Studies told AFP. Each launcher was designed to hold 4 missiles, Han said, adding that Pyongyang's supply of arms to Moscow might have interfered with the North's capacity to actually produce 1,000 missiles. Relations between the two Koreas are at one of their lowest points in years, with the North ramping up weapons testing and bombarding the South with balloons full of trash. South Korea has responded by resuming propaganda broadcasts along the border, suspending a tension-reducing military deal, and restarting live fire drills near the border. This year, Pyongyang declared South Korea its principal enemy, jettisoned agencies dedicated to reunification and outreach, and threatened war over even 0.001 millimeters of territorial infringement. Kim noted that presenting the new weapons at a time when the country was reeling from flood damage was a manifestation of the firm will of their party to push ahead with the bolstering of defense capabilities. Heavy rainfall hit the nuclear-armed country's northern regions in late July, with a South Korean media report claiming up to 1,500 people could have died. Kim has lashed out at the reports, dismissing them as a smear campaign to bring disgrace upon them and tarnish the North's image. Novak Djokovic describes his Olympic gold medal triumph as probably his biggest sporting success and revealed he may defend the title at the 2028 Los Angeles Games when he will be 41. The ceremony for his country at the 2012 Olympics was the best feeling an athlete could have had until this Olympics. Victory on Sunday allowed Djokovic to join Andre Agassi, Rafael Nadal, Disney Marvel superhero comedy Deadpool and Wolverine continues on a record-setting pace this weekend in North American theaters, clawing its way to an imposing $97 million in ticket sales. That brings its domestic total to $395.6 million for the 8th best second weekend ever, Variety reported, while international ticket sales were even more impressive at $428 million. Buoyed by the popularity of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and his pal Hugh Jackman Wolverine, the movie has already set a new record for the highest domestic gross for an R-rated feature, a distinction held since 2004 by Mel Gibson's epic drama, The Passion of Christ. Universal's weather thriller Twisters held tight a second place, taking in $22.7 million for the Friday through Sunday period. Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones play storm chasers caught in the middle of fast converging tornadoes. In third was Warner Bros. New film, Trap, at $15.6 million. Analyst David A. Gross called that a soft opening for an M. Night Shyamalan suspense crime thriller, adding that reviews and audience scores have been lukewarm. Josh Hartnett stars as a serial killer avoiding police while at a concert with his daughter. Trap was largely self-financed by Shyamalan, whose 1999 blockbuster The Sixth Sense grossed $673 million. Slipping one spot to fourth place was Universal Animation, Despicable Me 4 at $11.3 million. It has now taken in a total of $314 million domestically and $386 million internationally. And in fifth, also down one spot, was Disney's coming-of-age animation Inside Out 2 at $6.7 million. With a domestic gross of $627 million and an overseas total of $928 million, it is now well past the $1.5 billion mark and stands as the top animated film of all time, according to Hollywood Reporter. That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.
Assalamu alaikum. Dunia kalige mulinga program balamugendawa huriha farataka marhaba danawang dunia kalige me program ki gati befna me badal kolli al mashafio me program ki mi baina lagwa me masrahum faha kolleve muhimu kankamuge macha balala al men tayyar ko ngeste program me aduge program gati befna hisaba me hissa kolla mawluwa ki ingresi vilatu ka hingamum mida ijtimai hamanu jehu me mawluwa ti befna hisaba me aduge program ga mawlumata hissa kollani al menna ki ga program ga me barwani Ibrahim Nazim नाजिम प्रोग्राम वरबड़ मरहबा एतो इंग्रेस विलादुगा मि हिंगादिया वलिंग हमला दिनुगे हादिसा या गुलिंग एगौमा एथेरो मुंदा हिजुरवेरिना रेफ्यूजिंग गे मसले बवे वरबड़ हूणोइफा दांडिवळ मि दांडिवळ किमि दे मुजाहरात के गोतुगा फेशुं मु आडोइ फुलुन तके विसळुनुगे तेरेगा ए वाहकत विसळुमने तेरे आसोबे देंगदे हा मिया के गा हरकत तके बोडेते हमणजो तके विस हिंगा मुंगे बदे देंगानुगे सवाल के कोबातो मिकंका एमे अवहा मि बदलुवेगे दागोतकी
इंग्रेस विलात हिंगा दिया साउथ पोर्ट सिटी हिंगा दिया वलिंग हमला दिन मुग हादिसा का गुलिगेंग फैशन मुजाहरा ता होन में बिहार में ती एगोमा एतेरवम दा हिजरो वेरिना रेफ्यूजी ना मेदु वारा बोडती हम जुन तक हिंगम भाषा फकंग एंगिगेंग बदे दे मिहादिसा साउथ पोर्ट हिंगमा गुलिगेंग मिकम वेगें गोसवे मुल इंग्रेस विलातुगा वरबड़ मसले का वकिंग हास को सोशल मीडिया का मिकम आगुले खबर ता वरबड़ एक कोने का शेयर करे वी मिकम की मी बात कंकम की मी एगो मंग एतेरवा हिजरो वेरिंग नुआता रेफ्यूजिंग हिंगम अन्न जरीमा तक कम बुने वाह कत को देके वेगें गोसवाती वे मिकंग गम गा अस्तु अजम वेरिन रायतुंग मेदुगा बड़ होन मसले का वेगें गोस्वमी होती दें हादिसा हिंगा हुआ गोता बजारुगा बुने वेगोतुंग Rwandaing hijro ko geng ego mang as dirolam da dem firia kang ofam wi excel raktu bana namaka kiye miha ko umrun satara har miha ko gos kudaku din dance koranti bi nota neshum das ko de tanaka gos waling hamadadi etanum ting anghin kujja ko maral ma gulige me masla hunu wegen gos wani de mina mi kan hinga fawati we den umurun satara har we fa ehnames ashara har no fureti we mina ge maudum matan wati media ta ka sirru kore we gen gos ehnames miharo masal wara bada hunu we gen gos wati we mina be tafsil tabes mihar wani hama ko social media ga deke mundi awagata ho ge gen gos wani mina ki मुस्लिम कमशा आदि मीना की सूर्या हिजर कोगें एगो मंगास दिरिवल मुंदा मी हे कमुगा आडो आरागन दी मागुलिगे मसला मिहा बडंग होनु वेगें गोस्वामी होती देंग एना वलिंग हमला दीनी 11 कुदिन नकम वणी एगे तेरेगा डांस फरिता कोरम मिति भी उमरुंग हाहरा 11 हरा दे में कुदिन कम गवानी वलिंग हमारा दिन कुदिन के तेरेंग 11 कुदिन जहां में गसबार बड़त जहां तली मुनु 3 कुदिन एक तेरेगा हा हर के कुछ जका हैंग हर दिन वा हर के 3 अंग कुदिन वनी फारवा दे मुंदनी को हॉस्पिटल को मारो गेंग गोसवा देंती भी कुदिन बसमितवी वारा हालत वारा गोस कोंग आदमीना वलिंग हमारा दिन उंग सामुन दे टीचर को जहां